This is very hard to explain because it's a complex technology, but...
From the And the Groove Remains production team studios in the Netherlands. My name is 𝗵𝗲𝗍𝐺 and welcome to this live stream. My mission is not to sell you as many apps as I can. No, my mission is to educate, help, teach you about audio track collection management and conversion for DJs. So you save yourself some time for the fun and creative part of being a DJ. For those of you who are unfamiliar with who I am, a very quick introduction as each week. I am a 58-year-old dude from the Netherlands. I had my first DJ residency at the age of 15, which means this is over 40 years of DJ experience in the flesh. I am no longer an active DJ, I call myself a retired DJ. I do a few gigs a year, but nothing even close to what it used to be. However, you may know me from a little app that I wrote, and that app is called the DJ Conversion Utility, and that allows you to convert between various DJ software, maintaining your playlists, cues, loops and all that other good stuff, so you don't have to redo that when you switch DJ software. Each Tuesday, 7 o'clock PM Central European Time, and that happens to be right now, I host this Ask Me Anything live stream for DJs, But you can ask me each and every question, and I try not only to answer those questions, but also to demonstrate how certain things can be done. So it's both a talking head as well as a visual show. Today it will be the workflow stream. What does that mean? In this live stream I'm going to show you live how I add tracks to my audio collections and how I process them and how I convert them. In short, what I do when I have bought new tracks. That also means that because my collection is rather big, that this is going to be a very long stream, and not because it's very complex, but more because we have to wait for certain things to finish before I can pick up for other stuff. And in between those phases there will be plenty of time to ask questions, but this is not your average stream, so I want to make it a little bit streamlined so people understand what we are doing and not going from back and forth between various things. So if you've got a question, sure, you can ask it. I cannot promise you that I can get into it this stream, but maybe the next stream. Talking about the next stream, next week there will not be an Ask Me Anything. I'm going to take a short vacation, so I will not be in the studio and live stream, so keep that in mind. Another thing that is very worth keeping in mind, or that I need to talk about actually, is my favorite mobile rig, which a lot of people have a lot of things to say about. But today, just before I start the stream, a touch panel came in, and that touch panel I wanted to talk about a little bit, because this is actually, let me get it, here it is. This is actually a Chinese touch panel. That means it's both a screen and a mouse in one, and it has a USB-C connection, which means there is only one lead going from my Mac Mini to this screen, and this screen actually works. Tested it, it works very well, which means that you bring the amount of wires down considerably. So let me see if I can show you guys what this looks like, because I did have it in the living room a moment ago. So let me switch the screen here. No, this is the one. Here you are. This is what it looks like from the front, and again, works beautifully with DJ, and actually it gives you the feeling of being on a very powerful iPad. And this is what it looks like from the back. As you can see, there's only one USB-C wire going to the screen. The other wires that you see are for the adapter for the T7 controller, and there is of course a USB cable going to the controller, and of course the audio cable and the 220V for the Mac Mini, but that's it. So that's a very, very clean setup for those of you who are interested in, and it's very easy to set, very fast to set it up. I will set a link to this screen in the description below this video, because it is considerably cheaper than the 𝗃𝐻 screen that I did the video with. Does that mean that I will stop using the 𝗃𝐻 screen? Not at all. I will use that screen in my living because it's a very bright and beautiful screen. But this screen is ideal for those locations that you need to be mobile. It weighs well under a kilogram. It comes with kind of a protection bag. So this is easy to carry and easy to use, and that's the reason why I'm very enthusiastic about it. Again, link and type, etc. will be in the description below. I bought it from Temu.com, which is kind of an Alibaba. But both the type number as well as the pricing might vary, but it's it was a little over $100. Mario G, let's say hi to the people that are with us in the chat before we get on with it. Good evening, Mixmaster G. Hope all is well. It has been a while indeed, Mario, but it's great to see you, my friend. Doe the DJ, happy Tuesday, Mixmaster G, and friend. Happy Tuesday, Doe. Great to have you with us. Mac Joseph also in the building. Was great seeing you at NAMM, DJing wirelessly, walking around NAMM. Yeah, that was what Mac was doing. Javaman Sanchez, hi Mixmaster G, how are you today? I'm doing great, Javaman. Looking forward to having my little vacation break next week. SMB, what's good Mixmaster G? What do you prop your screen? What do you prop your screen on? I'm not entirely sure, 𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗆, what you mean by that. What do you prop your screen on? I don't know what you mean by that, my friend. So sorry for that. And good evening. Kenny Vista. I transferred my Traktor cue points to 𝗶𝗃𝗫𝐷𝗀. I use one computer to transfer the cue points using your software, then use different computer to DJ with the cue points that were transferred from Traktor. Hold on, the Traktor DJ work just fine on the computer that I use to transfer them, but when I open the same MP3s on the computer on DJ, the cue points don't show. Do I need to transfer my library to the other configuration? Stay tuned, Kenny, because I will show you exactly that. I will show you exactly that. 𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗆 wants to know the stand of my... actually, let me get that picture back. Hold on, because I already put it in the trash. Let me untrash it so you can see it. Yeah, there it is. And then let me show that on screen. This stand you see right here is something that I bought from Amazon. I don't even know what it's called. It is made for iPads, because originally I was using this T7 with an iPad, but for various reasons I decided that I wanted to move it to a Mac 4 Mini, and that is what I'm using right now. Okay, folks, we are going to dive into my workflow, and that means that again there will be room for questions, and especially if they are workflow related, please ask it the moment you see it or something is not clear, because that is the most logical place then to answer them. But if you got really inside questions about something else, then you need to ask it another time, because that is not what this stream is about this time around. Okay, my workflow. First of all, I use iTunes, now called Music, but let's call it iTunes, because that is much easier in the ears and everybody knows what you're talking about than having to talk about the music.app every time. So I use iTunes as my collection manager, which means that that is the base where everything happens for me. I make my playlists in iTunes, I add tracks to iTunes, and after that I have a base DJ software, and my base DJ software is Traktor. Why Traktor? Still legacy, folks. To be honest, right now my real platform that I do a lot of is 𝗶𝗃𝗫𝐷𝗀. That is actually what I'm using in my house. But for this preparation I will use Traktor again, because this is the full workflow, how I bring the songs that I download into my iTunes collection, get them to Traktor, then we are going to analyze them for BPM and grid in Traktor, then we are going to mix in key them for cues and for the key. Now those mixed in key cues are kind of a hit and miss, but they give you a blueprint to set your own cue, so that's what I'm using for. After that I'm going to convert everything that we added to Rekordbox, and then we are going to convert to Serato Virtual DJ, Algorithm DJ, and finally Engine Prime. Again, it will be quite a stream, and because my collection is big, there will be long breaks, because for instance starting up iTunes will take, let's say, 3 minutes. Quitting and starting up Traktor takes like 5 minutes for my collection, so that is all huge. Like I said, I do a lot of my work on a Mac Mini, the Mac Mini M4 that is shown in my favorite mobile rig video, and that means that that computer has the most recent database, and this is the part where you want to pay attention, Kenny, because 𝗶𝗃𝗫𝐷𝗀 stores everything that is related to 𝗶𝗃𝗫𝗫𝐷𝗀 in the DJ database. And where is that DJ database located? If you go inside your music folder, there you've got a folder named DJ, and within the DJ you've got the DJ Media Library, DJ Media Library, and that, the one that I highlight right now, is the thing where everything 𝗀𝗋𝗆 loops playlist related is stored as far as DJ is concerned. So if you want to get cue points from one computer to another, that is the thing that you need to share. Now there is another thing that is less likely, and that is the analysis data of DJ. That is not stored in the database. That is stored in a totally different, entirely different location. Now to make things a little bit easier, let's log into my Mac Mini, because I did turn it on. Hold on, I'm team viewing inside of it, and then let me show you. This is my Mac Mini, and this is the same Mac Mini that you, by the way, saw in that video. And if I go to Carbon Copy Cloner, and that is what I recommend everybody to use, you will see that there are some scripts there, and there are two push scripts. Push DJ to 𝗵𝗃𝗍. This computer is named 𝗵𝗃𝗍, and you can see right here that if I say start, it will synchronize the user music DJ library, and that is, let's show you that, reveal in the Finder. This folder, which means all the contents to this computer, which means that is then updated. And then there is another thing, and that is the thing that is really hidden at a very weird place. So let me show you that very weird place like this. This is the entire thing, and that is where all the analysis data is stored. So that analysis data you need to get from a different place. Now, like I said, I do a lot of experimenting, jamming in my living room on this Mac Mini M4, which means that before I'm going to convert to DJ, I want to have the latest information, and that is why those two push things are created. If I start them, and I can start them right now, but everything has been done already, so that won't take very long, then everything is synchronized from that Mac Mini, that is the computer where everything happens, to my 𝗵𝗃𝗍 computer, the computer I'm on right now, which means that both computers have the latest data. Again, this is not for the faint of heart. You need to be knowing what you are doing if you want to do this. Why am I using Carbon Copy Cloner for this? That analysis folder right here is huge. It's like 90 gigabyte or 13 gigabyte, as you can see, which is not the most important thing. The most important thing is that it's like almost 50,000 items, and if you want to copy them in the Finder, that takes like 13, 14, 15 minutes, while Carbon Copy Cloner, because it's incremental, does that much, much faster. Once everything is done, everything is finished on this computer, I'm going to sync everything back to my Mac Mini M4, so that has also the latest data. Now, talking about latest data and storage, let me close this out, hold on, there we go. All my audio files are stored on a file server named 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃. What's in the name, because it's 4 terabyte these days, but once I started out, it was named 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃, and once you have audio files in a collection, don't change the file path, which means don't change the drive name. Now, think about this file server as an external drive. As far as my macOS is concerned, it is an external drive. If I have a Carbon Copy clone of that file server on an external drive, and that external drive is named 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃, everything will work as beautiful as it will when it is in the network. So for that reason, having your audio files on a file server or on an external volume gives you a lot of flexibility, because you are no longer bound by the username. You are simply bound by where the audio files are stored. Let me demonstrate that quickly for those of you who never seen how that works. If I open my terabyte right here and I look at, let's go to, why not, top 40, and let's take the very first thing that we have, and then, hold on, the very first track that we have there. And on this computer you can see that the file path is volumes terabyte ________. if I look at an audio file that is locally stored, so maybe I've got something local here on my, let's say inside my music folder, and let's take the first track there, the 𝗃𝗃𝗀 track, it says users power Mac. Now keep that in mind, because that is important, because let me show you what this looks like on that Mac Mini. Why not? Let's move to that Mac Mini. So let me get my TeamViewer up again, log into the Mac Mini. Here is the Mac Mini. Let me close this out. Let me close this out. Let me close this out. Let me close that out. If I go to that same terabyte and I go to top 40 and I go to this one and I take the first track that is there, you will see that those file paths are identical. You see that? This file path and that file path is exactly the same, which is what you want. Now let me, hold on, I don't want that. Let me make it a little bit smaller. Let's do the same thing with the local file, because then you immediately see the difference. Go to music, I also should have the same test tracks there, and I've got that 𝗃𝗃𝗀 track there. Here it says users geen, and that is instead of users power Mac. The rest is the same, but because that file path is different, all my apps will have troubles with it. All my apps except 𝗃𝗃𝗃, because the file path to the audio files dictates the cues, the loops, and everything that is linked to it. So if you change it, then you have a problem there. Again, 𝗃𝗃𝗃 is an exception here, and Serato to a certain extent too. But because everything is on that file server, and that file server has the same file path in my entire network, and even if I'm not in the network, I can use a clone of my file server and everything will be fine. Because of that, none of the apps will have any issues with my audio files. Now, what we are going to do is we are going to add tracks of the top 40. The top 40 are the commercial tracks, and I have to admit, as you can see, there's a lot of stuff there. I haven't worked this for like the beginning of the year, which means there is quite some work that needs to be done. First of all, how do I store my audio files? The top 40 you are watching right now are the ones that I have bought, that I've downloaded, bought, and they are just stored in a temporary location. That location is on the HP schijf. They need to be on the terabyte, of course. Now, if I go inside the top 40 collection folder, you can see that I've made a folder for each year. That is the extent of how I separate it. So I make right now a new folder, and that is called Top 40 2025. And that is the destination folder where those audio files need to go. Now let's fire up my music collection, because we also need to make a playlist for that. And that playlist is going to be Top 40 2025. And as soon as I have set that all up, we are going to set one of my apps at work. That is the iTunes collection tool. And the iTunes collection tool makes sure that tracks are not already inside my collection. And it uses audio fingerprinting for that to make sure that we don't have any duplicates inside the collection. And it also copies the audio files from their temporary location where they are stored right now. So that could as well be your downloads folder if you like, to the permanent storage location, which is that folder that I just created on my file server, the Top 40 2025. Like I said, because this is a huge collection, and how huge you will see in a moment, this takes some time to start up. It takes some time for my iTunes to completely start up, simply because this is a big collection. And yeah, it is what it is. Not much I can do about it. So we have to wait for that. There we are. And then if I go to my top 40 playlists, again, this is my real collection. And if you are interested in it, we are talking about 114,000, almost 140,000 tracks. And the last time that I added tracks are December 2024. So that is quite some time ago. So let's go to my top 40 collection by year and let's create a new playlist there. And that playlist is going to be named Top 40 2025. By default, the view is not what I want it to be. I want to be in a songs view by default. And then I need to tweak some stuff that it is the way I want it to be. The date edit is fine if I put it to the side and the comments are fine there. And I want to have my rating. There's my rating. So those are my most important measures that I want to have. And as you can see, it is totally empty right now. We are going to fire up the iTunes collection tool, but before we do that, I need to quit iTunes. Let's keep all this open because to the left, this is the source of my audio files and there is the destination of my audio files. So let's start up the iTunes collection tool right here. And if you look right now in those files, you can see that there is a lot of stuff all there. So let's wait for this to happen. And then it will create an XML. This is all on automatic. Usually when I do this, I walk away and I do whatever I want to do. And then I return or check every now and then that this is going well. This is usually not something that I stand by and wait to finish because you might as well watch grass grow or paint dry. It is boring as hell. And in the meantime, you can do some other things, but not on this computer because this computer is occupied. But because this is a live stream, we have to wait for all these things to happen. And that also means that if you want to know something or if something is not clear, feel free to ask me. And then in between the steps, we answer them. DJ Alter, good evening, 𝗵𝗲𝗇. Good evening, DJ Alter. Good to have you with us. And the same to DJ Matt Official. Evening, 𝗵𝗲𝗇. Wishing you a happy Tuesday. Greetings from England and greetings back from the Netherlands, Matt. And good to have you with us as well. And like I said, we are at the workflow video or the workflow stream, and that can be rather boring. So if you want to know something, just ask it. This is the iTunes collection tool waiting for everything to start up, and now it's exporting the library XML, as you can see. And again, that is all on automatic. There is nothing that I need to do. By the way, if you think, hey, 𝗵𝗲𝗇, I have ICT, but I don't see this happening in my collection. What is happening there? That is simple. You need to be in an English system. So if the language to your system is set to English, you'll be fine. We are going to add some new tracks, and the source will be the top 40. And then we are going to select the playlist that I want to add them to, and that playlist will be the Top 40 2025. And that's the chime that it is indeed recognized, and then we are going to tell it that the source will be Top 40 2025, the folder that I just created on my terabyte. Furthermore, there is a 𝗵𝗶𝗀 folder, and that is where the duplicate audio files are stored. They are not immediately removed, they are moved to 𝗵𝗶𝗀. So in case something goes wrong, you still can recover from that. And then we say start the healing, and this is all on automatic. What will happen is all the tracks will be copied over to the new destination folder. So I can open this one right here, and you can see already that it's slowly filling up. And it might even then take some away if it finds duplicates, because it says 120 tracks in total are being moved. I think the unique tracks is more in the neighborhood of maybe 60, 70, but we'll see. So we have to wait for this to finish. After this is done, I'm going to set star ratings. I've promised myself that whenever I add new tracks to my collection, I need to have heard them, and that means that they need to have a star rating. To set star ratings, I use the scripts that are included with the iTunes collection tool, and that allows me to very quickly navigate through a playlist with tracks and skip to the next track that doesn't have an audio file or doesn't have a star rating, and automatically work that out. So you will see that in a moment, and I will go into the depths of that in a moment. But the next phase that I'm going to do is I'm going to star rate the audio files. What you see right now is the iTunes collection tool scanning the collection for audio fingerprints. Audio fingerprints are a unique way to identify a track. And let me check something here, because that's all good, because I wanted to make sure that it is indeed in the big database and not, yeah, that's all fine. So we are good with that, because this is both my main system as well as my development system. So very often I switch collections to a temporary collection or an empty collection to test out new stuff that I made. So I wanted to make sure that my live database, my live audio fingerprint database is there. Audio fingerprinting allows you to identify tracks regardless the tags. So regardless the artist or title in the tags, regardless the audio format, as long as the actual audio is identical, the audio fingerprint will be the same. And right now you will see that this counter will go back, because right now the iTunes collection tool is taking care of all those duplicate files that are within there and take them out, and then I will be left with a playlist with unique tracks only. So let this run. 𝗬𝗪𝗀. Oh, DJ OPL is in the building. Good to have you with us. And 𝗬𝗪𝗀 says, good evening, Mr. G. Hope you're having a good evening. I'm doing great. Thank you, 𝗬𝗪𝗀. Same for you. Will you point all your different DJ software to the same folder now called 𝗃𝗃? Yes, you got that correct, 𝗬𝗪𝗀. Indeed, all my DJ software will use the same audio files on the 𝗃𝗃. 𝗃𝗃𝗃 is in the building, my friend. Good to have you with us, and welcome to the live stream. This is going to be the workflow live stream, which means that some things are going to be slow, like right now new tracks are added to my iTunes collection, and after that we are going to star rate those new tracks. But first we have to wait for this to finish. Which also means that I'm totally available to answer questions. Every now and then you see this thing happening, waiting for the music app to cool down and then a number. The problem here is that the music or iTunes app does not, let me take a step back. The iTunes collection tool talks to the iTunes app using a method called AppleScript. AppleScript is a way to automate tasks in apps if those apps are AppleScript enabled. Now the problem is that iTunes is AppleScript enabled, and you can do basically everything that you do with a mouse with AppleScript, so automated, like this is fairly automated. However, the execution of the commands that you send to iTunes is not sequential. It is not executed in the order that you send them. And there are certain commands that you may want to make sure that they are executed before you move to the next command. For instance, before you add tracks to a playlist, you want to make sure that the playlist exists. And for that reason, the iTunes collection tool sometimes waits. It waits for iTunes to cool down, because then it knows that it has executed all the commands. And that is what you sometimes see happening, the cooldown period. DJ OPL, hey Mixmaster G, I'm still on Rekordbox 5.8.7. I would like to convert my library to a DJ Pro library and then be able to convert the DJ Pro library back to 5.8.7 library. Yeah, that is possible, Δ𝗽𝗀𝗶𝗀, but I wouldn't recommend it. I take it that with DJ Pro you mean either Serato DJ Pro, Traktor DJ Pro, or Algorithm DJ Pro. So make sure that you make clear what you are meaning there. All right, let's see what we've got. First of all, as you can see, there are some FLAC files there because those are not converted to iTunes, but for the rest everything is empty, so this can be deleted. And now let's have a look at my iTunes playlist, and we've got a total of 100 tracks. And I hear you think, yo, µMaster_G, 100 tracks, I only saw 98. That is because there is a huge overlap there between the previous and the new thing. You can see, for instance, right here that there are already some star ratings available. Those star ratings are coming from tracks that were already in the collection and are now found. Should you, sir, where do all the cue points, etc. set in different software get saved, and how don't they interfere with each other? Should you, sir, cue points in general are proprietary and only set in the DJ software that you use. Which means if I set a cue point in Rekordbox, Serato doesn't know a thing about it. Same if I set a cue point in DJ, Serato doesn't know a thing about it, and Rekordbox either. So that's why you need the conversion software to convert between the various DJ software. And they will never be in the way because they are all totally different. Now you see those black star ratings. Those black star ratings are annoying as hell because those star ratings are so-called album star ratings. And you cannot change them. You can do nothing with them. You cannot erase them. You cannot make them 0. I cannot make this 0 stars because it has an album star rating. So the moment I make this 0 star, hold on, it gets back that annoying album star rating. Lucky for us, there is a shortcut within the iTunes collection tool, and you launch those shortcuts using an app called quicksilver. So those shortcuts are not made in quicksilver. No, they are part of the algorithm, or they are part of the iTunes collection tool. But you trigger them, you can launch them using a keyboard shortcut. If I just play a track, and let's see if I can switch the sound back to my internal speakers. Yeah, because I don't want to get demonetized by Google. If I press Shift-Command-0, and I just did that, then there you go. Then I start a script that will take out all those album star ratings. If you want to avoid album star ratings, you better select all those tracks and you make sure that this one is checked compilation, because that is actually the reason why a star rating is taken from other tracks. And you can see that it is now processing some stuff because I changed everything to that it is a compilation album. Otherwise you get all that stuff going back and forth. So let's wait for this to happen. Let's take the should you sure question off. And again, yeah, there we are. Now we are going to star rate the tracks. I use the scripts that are built inside ICT again for it, and I launched them using Quicksilver. This works very simple. My star rating system is 3 is how likely I will use a track in a set. 3 stars is neutral, 2 and 1 is less and lesser likely, 4 and 5 is more likely, 5 is a banger. Of course those stars can change over time. When Despacito came out it had 5 stars and it slowly became a 2 star. So you get the idea, it is a dynamic process. I set my star ratings only on this computer. Again, because I need to have a base where I know that everything is correct. Why don't I set them on other computer? For instance, the Mac Mini M4 that you saw, my mobile system, the system that I like to jam on. That is running macOS 𝗁𝗁𝗀. All my other computers are running Monterey. And iTunes on Monterey is not the same iTunes as on 𝐒𝐭𝐵𝗀. 𝐒𝐭𝐵𝗀 will read databases from Monterey, but once an iTunes collection has been on 𝐒𝐭𝐵𝗀, you cannot move back to Monterey, and for that reason this is my base of operation. Alright, the shortcuts I'm using are command 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 5, which sets automatically the star rating, and once a star rating is set, it will move to the next track without a star rating, so that automatically moves on. So that is a beautiful system. And I use the command arrow to the right, arrow to the left, which allows me to scroll to needle jump through a track in steps of 1/5 of the track. That combined is a very fast system. So let's see, 108 tracks to go. Not everything has no star rating, but let's see how we do. This is it too. This can go very, very fast because this is all Dutch, and that is just you cannot avoid Sabrina Carpenter these days. Δ𝗽𝗀, I see your question. The answers to that are already in my YouTube channel. You can do that with the DJ conversion utility, but I will not recommend you to be on 5.8.7 of Rekordbox, because first of all, that version has the Rekordbox XML import bug, and second of all, it will not work reliably on M1 series computers and further. So I will not do that. I cannot recommend that. I can only recommend use at least Rekordbox 6, where possible Rekordbox 7, and then the tutorials are in my YouTube channel. Let's do this. That's weird. That should already be there. Let me see what's happening with that. There is namely another shortcut, F6, that will look for duplicates based on artist and title. And there we are. That was indeed in the collection. As you can see, the time of both versions are not the same, and for that reason it didn't recognize it as a duplicate. But we can weed it out while we are at it, so that's fixed too. Again, these are all shortcuts that come with the iTunes collection tool, and you see it going back and forth very quickly, which makes life a little bit easier. Let's see, what do we have? That can be a 5 even. That one should also be in the collection already. Most likely same reason. So let's find. There we are. And there you can see that indeed it has a different time, and that's the reason why it was not seen as a duplicate. So let's take it out. Like this. So that takes care of weeding out those duplicates. Those are F6 and F9. F6 searches for duplicates based on artist title, and F9 weeds them out. So it gives you the opportunity to choose which one you want to keep inside your collection. And then Command =, gets me back to my playlist where I was. So I'm not doing anything with the mouse at all, as you can see. This is all automated. That one should be in the collection for sure. That's a Dutch track, but that's weird. Let's see, because that is very weird. All right, lost in translation somewhere. Let's see where I was at. That was here, and then I need to put that in various other folders, because that in the Netherlands is a very important track. I can understand why most people think, all right, that's already there. All right, all right. It just didn't have a rating. I think that should also exist. That is likely already in the collection. Not, then and that bleep means that every track right now has a star rating, which is an important thing for me. Let's see what I've got in the questions. Suit you, sir, if I'm starting from fresh and going to move all my tunes to an external drive, if I then delete everything from iTunes before syncing, is there anything I need to be careful of? Yeah. The most important thing that you need to be careful of is making sure that these settings are off. When you go to Files, keep and copy, that those are off. Otherwise, you can expect a lot of trouble. So make sure that they are off. And I've got, of course, various apps that can help you with this. The iTunes Recordbox collection tool can copy all the tracks that you have in an iTunes collection to an external drive. and create an XML that you can then import in an empty collection of iTunes, and that will save you a lot of time. And the iTunes collection tool can help you weed out all the duplicates. Like you already saw, it's not perfect. There are still situations where it doesn't find the duplicates that you would like it to find, but it is the best that you can do, and it is a great guideline for it. I am going to export this library to XML like this, and then let's put it inside the music folder, please. I replace the existing one because our next stop is Traktor. I now got my playlist in order inside iTunes, and I need to have my stuff in my Traktor collection so I can analyze these new tracks and then mix and key, etc. them. And in order to do so, we are going to use an app called the Traktor Q and Key tool and 𝗵𝗶. 𝗵𝗶 is an app that I wrote that allows you to create the playlists that I have in my iTunes collection inside Traktor. And that is important because, for instance, star ratings and stuff like that usually don't go very well together with iTunes. You can see right here that it already selected the library and it selected my collection animal, so I am good here. I can say let's go. You are welcome, should you sure, that is indeed what we are doing here. I try to help wherever I can possibly help, and answering questions is part of that. So don't worry about it. It is what I like to do here. And for those of you tuning in, I am doing my workflow, my annual workflow video, where I show how I processed new tracks when I bought them. And right now we have to wait for this to finish, which will take a little while. And then my Traktor needs to start up, which usually also takes close to forever. So you guys are still in for some waiting time here, but feel free to ask me any question that you want to ask, because this is actually the part of the whole stream that I've got loads of times to answer whatever you want to know. So fire away, feel free to ask whatever you want to ask. And we are just waiting for this to finish. And this can be very slow, and then all of a sudden it moves on. That is because there are some folders with a lot of subfolders and playlists inside my iTunes collection, and those are actually taking up this time. You will see the same at the end. Then it will around 90% also get very slow, and then all of a sudden moves all along. But hey, it is what it is. We just have to wait for this. And like I said, I'm just here to answer any and all questions, folks. So feel free to ask whatever you want to ask, because we are at the part that we are going to wait quite some time for quite some stuff. Oh, and there's something that I like to do in iTunes before I move on. Actually, I don't really need to do that, but hey, why not? It can handle these things both together. This is a rather powerful system. It is not an M1, it's not an Apple Silicon system. This is still an Intel i9 system, but a very fast one with a fast graphic card. And I'm thinking about replacing it with an M4 system. But on the other hand, this has a lot of hard drives inside, a lot of USB-A connections, and it works, it does what it needs to do, and that is the most important part. But I have seen on my Mac Mini M4 that, for instance, starting up iTunes is a huge difference between this machine and the other machine. There you can see that the progress bar moved a little bit along all of a sudden, and then you will see that around 90% it will get slow again right here, and then all of a sudden it is done. Matt Positive, yo Mixmaster G, what do you know about Rekordbox's new high precision beat grid analysis option, normal or dynamic or auto. Did they actually change their proprietary analysis algorithms or what? I haven't really tested it, Matt. I know it is there. I had my good friend Jeroen over a while ago. Let me start this up and then let me get into this, because we only need to select one playlist. And for good measures, I take the top 40 2024 playlist as well. So if there's an overlap there, then I know that I'm both covered. Why not? We can do all three of them. Won't take that long. And then say, okay, let's go. And that is basically it. Now it's on automatic. So I talked to my good friend Jeroen about this, and I have to test it. I'm not sure what and if they changed it, but I'm still not a fan of the little things I saw. But I have to admit, I didn't really test it. So there is not something that I can say about it. There was talk about using cloud analysis, so the wisdom of clouds, and put everything in the cloud and then pull the analysis from there. But then again, I haven't seen that really functioning. For instance, if I'm on my CDDA 3000s and use beatport streaming tracks, then you would assume that it would pull analysis data from the Pioneer cloud. It doesn't. So I'm not sure if that is all marketing hoopla or that they really changed something. Not really tested that yet. Should you write, sir, is there a preferred DJ software to set cue points, grids, etc., a master before? That is, should you, sir, your base DJ software, and for me that is Traktor. And the reason why it's Traktor is because it has excellent static grid analysis. The dynamic grid analysis doesn't exist. There are dynamic grids, but not in the analysis. And I am using Traktor for as long as I'm digital DJing. And for that reason, I know it inside out, and that's why it's my base DJ software. But just define one base DJ software and convert from there on out. And if you choose Serato, fine if that works for you. Rekordbox, fine if that works for you. Just make sure that the base is the base. DJ Crush, goedenavond, good evening, good to have you with us. Excluding Algorithm DJ Pro, which software do you think has the most accurate gridding that can be converted to other software? Again, that is Traktor, but Traktor only has static beat gridding. But for static beat gridding, it is the best of them. And again, I am a little bit a Traktor fan, but it's hard to be a Traktor fan these days because it falls so much behind. So that is, if you have to ask me, my performance software these days is DJ, Algorithm DJ. My preparation software is Traktor, and that is just for a big part legacy. Simply, I have used Traktor for most of my digital DJ life. I know it inside out. It suits all my needs. So yeah, that is fine. And I can easily convert to whatever I need in order to go to other software. So for that reason, Traktor. I am more than happy to use that as my base. Again, should you, sir, use where you have the controller for, use where you feel at home at, and there is no good or bad here. There is only what you can work with or that what you cannot work with. 𝗵𝗲𝗿𝗲, I can't find any real info online about it. Yeah, the precision analysis is different than the cloud stuff, but even just the auto setting for normal versus dynamic is odd, right? Yeah, there are some sketchy things going on in there, Matt. So again, I haven't really tested it, and if I haven't really tested it, I really don't want to comment on it because I only like to comment on stuff that I know about. But the whole cloud thing and the cloud hoopla is strange, sketchy. I don't know. Not something that I like. Alright, Traktor is starting up. Why did I open my iTunes, you may ask? You see this playlist called Dump, which is literally my dump playlist. I dump stuff there. And if I go to all my tracks, like here, and I stored it on date edit, like here, and we take all the tracks that I just added today, like this, then I now have a playlist that only contains the tracks that I just added. 97 songs in total. Why is that important to me? Simply because I need those tracks in a moment to go, for instance, to go to _𝐵𝐾. Let's first have a look here. If I go to top 40 right here, then we can see that the top 40 2025 playlist is right there. So those tracks and everything, 180 tracks, are there. They are not analyzed, so we are going to analyze them. But before I do, I'm going to double check that my analysis preferences are set correctly. Yes, that is set. That is set. Analysis options. Only the grid marker, please. Yes, yes, yes. Don't we have the... Okay. That option is not there anymore, apparently. That's an old Traktor 𝐻 tool. And then I should have an analyze these first. There it is, analyze these first tracks. These are tracks that were new to the Traktor collection. If I select them all and I say analyze, and I analyze for everything here, and I turn on the parallel processing, which means that the stream might get a little bit shocky. It gets a little bit back and forth. So keep that in mind. That is just because the analysis is working here. Should you, sir, can dynamic grids be converted, or is it just static grids that can be converted? The dynamic grids of Serato and Rekordbox can be converted, but it depends on what your target software is. So the DJ conversion utility will convert dynamic grids to Traktor and from Traktor, but the auto analysis, the one I'm running right now, is always static, it's not dynamic. So the whole dynamic grid thing in Traktor is not very well implemented at all. In other words, I'm not a fan. Okay, the analysis here is ready. Now there is another thing that I want to do, and that is mainly starting up _𝐵𝐾, and usually I do that parallel where this is working. Accept. And we have to wait for _𝐵𝐾 to start up. There we are. And then and that's one of the benefits of having a dump folder. The dump folder is right here. If I select all these tracks, I can set them to the analysis queue. There we go. And now the analysis in _𝐵𝐾 has started, which means that I don't need my music, but I will hide it, so I don't need to reopen it and have to wait for this. I'm going to wait for this to finish, and then I'm going to quit Traktor, and then we need to get that information from Traktor inside my, or from _𝐵𝐾 inside my Traktor collection. That means the base queues of Traktor and the comment fields. You can already see some comments here that were tracks that were already in the collection, and my comment field exists of the key, the BPM, and then the energy level. BPM is coming from Traktor because those analyses are better than the BPM analysis of _𝐵𝐾. The key is coming from _𝐵𝐾, same for energy level, that is coming from _𝐵𝐾. And in a moment we will transfer all that information from _𝐵𝐾 to Traktor. But first I have to wait until _𝐵𝐾 tells me that it cannot write to Traktor, and that is one of the annoying bugs that is still in _𝐵𝐾. If I would have closed Traktor, then _𝐵𝐾 is going to mangle inside my Traktor collection, even though I said to it that it is not allowed to do that. So look here, I have switched everything off, and then it still will mangle there. This is the message that I was talking about. Cancel this, go away. Now I can quit Traktor, which will take a while, and then I can quit _𝐵𝐾. That will take less of a while. And then we are going to use the Traktor 𝐻 tool, which is one of my other apps that will get the mixing key information inside Traktor, create the command fields and do all that other mumbo jumbo stuff. So we have to wait for this to finish. Don't tell me that I didn't warn you guys. There will be some waiting involved, but that is just the nature of a workflow video. But on the other hand, you can always ask questions here. Oh, Matt Positive, can't wait what your product manager has to say about it. Hope he shows up for a show soon. Jeroen is not the European product manager. Jeroen is the Dutch representative of Pioneer DJ and my buddy. I'm not sure about this whole analysis thing. It popped up all of a sudden, I think with version 7.0.5. I have not heard anybody about it. I haven't heard Phil Morse of Digital DJ Tips about it. I haven't heard my friend Mojax about it, so nobody talked about it. I didn't even recognize that it was there. We can have, or no, we cannot have a quick look because my Rekordbox also takes ages to start up. But I only noticed it because when Jeroen was with me to test some USB speeds, he told me about it and that he doesn't know what it changed as well. So for that reason, I have to try it and have to see. Maybe that's something for another time. DJ Spin, aloha. How do I automatically keep all my songs in my collection, cue points saved, loops, algorithm, DJ Pro automatically synchronize through these separate DJ setups? You don't. Because algorithm DJ is not equipped to automatically sync everything with everything else. So you don't. That's very simple. All you can do with the DJ conversion utility is convert from algorithm DJ to, for instance, Rekordbox and to Serato and to whatever you want to. But that is all based on playlists and history lists within DJ. You can use those history lists, but that means that your playlists should be, for instance, in iTunes like mine are. And then you can sync through the history. But again, going back and forth for DJ in DJ is tricky, and it will only work kind of reliably if iTunes is your collection manager. If you don't use iTunes as a collection manager, it will become messy because then you have playlists and history lists and all that together, and that is not something that you can easily get into sync automatically the way you want it to do. So keep that in mind. Alright, I'm going to fire up the Traktor Cue and Key tool. That is my tool to get that mixed-in key information inside my Traktor collection. There we are. And I go to the advanced settings. And right here I'm going to tell that I want to process from, let's see. You see these numbers here? These were the numbers that it last processed. So it needs to pick up where it left off, and then for good measures I take some off. So it does process everything in the Traktor collection. Then I go back to the main settings. I merge the existing cues with Traktor cues, and here you can set what that comment field is going to look like. This is the default one. It will override your own comments. So if you don't want that, then you need to turn it off. Otherwise, it will override it, like you can see right here. Let's process this, and then I see that 𝗬𝗪𝗀 has a question. If DJing with an iPad and algorithm DJ, what is the best way to access the tunes on my external HD? You can't, 𝗬𝗪𝗀, and that is one of the problems with algorithm DJ. I wish I could say that's easy. It is not. The only way to get playlists and audio on an iPad is through iTunes. iTunes, of course, does only save that to the internal memory of an iPad. It is slow, even with a very fast iPad. And that is one of the reasons why I stopped using an iPad with DJ as a performance platform, because getting some new tracks on it is just, takes a ridiculous amount of time. And you cannot use, for instance, the terabyte for that. I wish it could, but it can't. And for that reason, I cannot recommend it. If you paid good attention, then you saw a little trick happening, namely that the terabyte was unmounted. My Traktor collection is very slow in starting up. However, if the terabyte is not mounted, this is an alias, and the terabyte itself is not mounted, then Traktor will be notably faster. Of course, once I want to use the tracks, I need to have the terabyte mounted again, but let's wait for Traktor to start up, and you will see this is much faster if the terabyte is not mounted. And then I can just switch it on and we will be good. Then I will quickly check some of the new tunes, and then we are going to convert to Rekordbox. So this is a lot faster than doing it differently. Let's activate it. There it is again. And then let's go to the top 40 right here. And then if I load the track up, then you can see that it got the cues and everything from. So that is all done. You can also always double check in the Traktor Cue and Key tool. You can see there are only processed tracks, which means there were no errors, there were no problems. Everything has been processed. I'm going to export this collection to an NML file. Now, a lot of people ask me, yo, @𝐼𝐸, why are you exporting to an NML file? Why are you not using the NML file inside the Traktor collection? And let me show you what that means. If I go to my Documents folder, to my Native Instruments folder, to my Traktor folder, then you got right here a collection.nml file, as you can see. That collection NML file is my current Traktor collection. However, that collection NML doesn't necessarily have all the current data inside of it. That is because Traktor uses a very weird system where it stores some data in proprietary tags inside the audio file and other data inside the collection NML. And it looks at the date and the timestamp of both data, and it uses only the current one. And it is possible that the current data is not inside my NML, but is in the audio file. If I export the collection to an NML file, then I'm 100% sure that all the current data is there. So for that reason, I export to an NML file. It is not strictly a requirement. If you never have problems, you can use the collection NML inside the Traktor folder, and that will save you a lot of time, because as you can see, creating this NML file, exporting to this NML file is slow. But on the other hand, hey, why not? I just export, and that's for safe measures. If you don't want to do that and you want to use the collection NML in the Traktor folder, make sure that you have converted everything. Double check your conversion, because if things are left out, that means that that collection NML was not current, didn't have all the information. 𝗬𝗎, is it not possible to plug an HD in the iPad and point DJ Pro to the external drive? Yes, that is possible, 𝗬𝗎, but that will only work for that particular iPad. In my YouTube channel again is a playlist, a YouTube playlist dedicated to DJ Pro 5, and within one of the tutorials within that playlist is about using external drive with DJ Pro. But it is not as intuitive or simple or easy as you would like it to be. I wish it was. So not something I recommend, simply because it doesn't work the way you want it to work. It is complex and it's very, very much time consuming. So for that reason, I'm not a fan. DJ Matt Official with a question. 𝐼𝐸, I found a way of getting Serato playlists using music, iTunes as base software for creating playlists to iPad DJ Pro. Seems fairly quick and bypasses need to sync via iTunes app. Happy to DM you the details, any use. Serato playlist using music, iTunes as base DJ for. sure, you can DM me, @𝗵𝗶𝗇official, but I assume that you then use the Serato tags and the Serato queues, which have a tendency of shifting in DJ. That's not something that I like. And that you use the DJ conversion utility to convert the Serato or create or actually use Serato to make crates out of the iTunes playlists within Serato. And that's not something that you really can maintain, because you have to create those crates every time you add tracks, and that's just a lot of work. So I think that I understand what you're doing, but I don't see that as a real solution. The only real solution is syncing from iTunes to an iOS device, like it or not. And I wish it was different, because that would make my life a lot easier. Back to where we were. That means I did export to NML, and I did not, but I'm quitting Traktor right now. And while Traktor is quitting, I'm hiding it because we don't need to wait for that. I'm going to start up the DJ conversion utility, because our next stop is going to be, don't I have a shortcut? No. Well, anyway, then let's do it like this. The DJ conversion utility. Our next stop is going to be Rekordbox, converting what we have right now in DJ to Rekordbox, which means we have Traktor as the base DJ software, and I'm going to use the advanced selection method. I only want to have the tracks that were added today, and I don't care about anything else, which means these are the tracks that are new to the collection. You can set it right here, and that means that this will be fairly quick and very compact, because it only contains the tracks that were added to the Traktor collection, the new tracks if you like. So we can wait for this. Meanwhile, while this is running, I go back to my music collection, because my comments here are not entirely filled with the comments that were just created by the Traktor Q and Key tool. I am looking at the dump, but I can say right here, and again, this is a script that comes with the iTunes collection tool and with TCK as well, I think. And what it will do is it will update the comment fields, as you can see right there, from the text in the audio files, because there is no read tags inside iTunes. And right now, as you can see, my comments are sortable, so you can sort them fairly quick. And that means that my music can be quitted as well. And let's have a look at what the DJ conversion utility is doing. So I've got a lot of things now running around on my system. Traktor is still quitting in the background. Music is quitting. And in the meantime, the DJ conversion utility is converting to Traktor. So as you can see, a lot happening there. There we go for the conversion. DDMS, okay, thanks for your thoughts, 𝗵𝗲𝗇, totally understand. Yeah, I know that there are shortcuts here, Matt, and trust me, I have tried them all, because my main reason was that right now I have added a few tracks to my iTunes collection, and of course we are processing them, and then I would love to just sync my iPhone and my iPad quickly with the new tracks. But if I do that, like the 97 tracks that we added now, that will take like almost 2 hours on a 2 terabyte iPad to sync. And yes, that iPad is not totally full, it's like 60% full, so it almost has a terabyte free space. Still takes 2 hours to sync. It's a very fast iPad, it has a USB-C connection. Even if I do that on my Mac Mini M4, it still takes forever. So that is the reason why I skipped the whole iOS thing altogether and went back to using a Mac Mini M4, which is small, with a touch screen and a backup of my terabyte server, and that works beautifully. In the meantime, 𝗶𝗃 is getting all the information inside my Rekordbox 6 collection. This is also a very substantial collection, as you might imagine, because it's the same collection as in Traktor. So this is a huge collection, and it's injecting 97 tracks, which will be slow because there's a lot to be added to there. Perfect picture. Welcome to the live stream, my friend. And good evening to you too. We are doing a workflow video today, which means this will be boring as hell. Let's double check some stuff here, because before I go, Serato is there. And there is no current, which means that is good, and that's 𝗵𝗿𝗄𝐷. All right, I need that in a moment once I have Traktor up and running. This is all closed, so we are good here. I can quit 𝗁𝗁𝐷 because I don't need the shortcuts anymore, because we left iTunes behind right now. Once this information is inside Rekordbox, the next step will be analyzing those tracks in Rekordbox. The grid and key information, of course, is converted, but you always have to analyze tracks if you add them to a DJ software. Why is that? That graphical representation of the track, the thing you see on your screen, needs to be generated, and that is what's actually happening during the analysis. I have switched off the analysis for grid, BPM and key simply because that information is converted and I don't want that to be overwritten by analysis data. Perfect picture. I have been looking forward to this Tuesday since I found your channel last week. Good to hear that perfect picture, and welcome to the channel. This is the workflow video. I do that each year. I demonstrate how I process tracks that I newly bought and how I add them to the various DJ software that I use, etc. Which means this is kind of a special live stream because there are very long pauses or points that we need to wait, just as we needed to wait a moment ago. But there will be plenty of time to answer questions, but I don't have much time to demonstrate because we are in the workflow and right now Rekordbox is being opened. And we have to wait for that to open. There we go. And waiting for Rekordbox to fully start up. So this is kind of a special live stream. Next week there will not be a live stream because next week I have a week off. And if you of course like what I'm doing, also important, don't forget to give this video the thumbs up, like, share, subscribe, and tell your DJ friends about the availability of this information online totally for free each Tuesday, 7 o'clock p.m. Central European Time. Suit you, sir. Thank you for your help this evening. I'm going to have to watch the rest of this video later. Have a good evening, everyone. Have a good evening, Suit you, sir. Nice to have you with us each Tuesday, buddy. Good to have you with us each Tuesday. This is my Rekordbox collection, and it is taking the iTunes library there. I'm going to cancel that. Let's cancel that out. And this is important because it's going to ask me if it wants to analyze. My auto analysis is off, which means I'm going to cancel this. I'm not going to analyze this. Why not? Because with the auto analysis you cannot switch the BPM grid off, and of course I want to switch it off. So this is the less annoying view, and I think I can sort on preview, but I'm not sure. It doesn't seem to be working. All right, then we need to go not through this, but we have right here. And this is the playlist I'm interested in because these are the tracks, all tracks added at or after, and that is the actual playlist that I converted from Traktor. Remember, that is a playlist that is automatically created. So these are 97 tracks that are not inside my Rekordbox collection. Those are not analyzed. Let's select them all, right click, analyze tracks. And now I can say I want to only analyze for phrase. I don't want to analyze for anything else. And you can see that it is running right here. You may think, yo, 𝗵𝗲𝗇, but can you just double check if this is working already? So let's go away. Like I said, this is getting very, very slow because this is a big collection, but let it do whatever it does, and then we are going to look for that. All right, oh, here we are. And there you can see that the queues are all converted there. Everything is there as you want it to be. And those are the queues coming from Traktor, which are the queues that are coming from Mixed-in-Key. While Rekordbox is analyzing, I'm going to hide it again because I'm totally not interested in it. And we go to our next stop, and the next stop will be conversion to Serato Traktor or Serato Virtual DJ and Algorithm DJ. Now, before I move to Algorithm DJ, it is important that the tracks are part of the DJ collection. For that reason, I'm going to open DJ, and I better had music open too, because I'm going to open music too, but we can do that from with, no, yeah, I can do it from within DJ too. Here we are in DJ, and remember that we've got that dump playlist within DJ. First it needs to, come on, you can do it. I create a playlist named temp, and that temp playlist is within the DJ part of Algorithm DJ. Reason for that is I need to make the tracks that are new in the collection part of DJ. Right now they are not part of DJ. Even if I can access them through iTunes, they are still not a part of DJ. By doing what I'm about to do, they will be a part of DJ, and then I can analyze them, and then I can assign cues and loops to them from the conversion. So this kind of feels backward, but it is because how DJ works that I have to jump through these hoops. So before I can convert to tracks in DJ, those tracks need to be part of the DJ collection. If you don't do that, then you will get a warning at the end of the conversion telling you that tracks were not part of DJ and you need to redo it. So you need to add those tracks to DJ, analyze them, and then do the conversion again so they can be converted. And that is because I hate to do double work. I do it like this. So here we've got our 97 tracks in total, and I put them into the temp playlist like this. And there you can see it's importing the items, so it is transfer or making them part of the DJ collection, and then they can receive their converted cues and loops. But while we are at it, I can go to the DJ part, to the playlist part, and then to the temp playlist, and there I can say analyze songs, and it will analyze the tracks. That means that I am totally ready to receive the cues and loops from Traktor within DJ once this is done. Again, it is how the conversion to DJ works. I wish it was different. Algorithm promised me that they would get me the necessary data how to add tracks to DJ, but they still haven't provided that data. For that reason, this is how it is. I wish it was different again, but it works. And usually the analysis of DJ is much faster than what you are watching, but remember that in the back my Rekordbox analysis is also running, and that the live stream is coming to you from this computer. So in short, there's a lot going on this computer, which means that things are a little bit slower. Perfect picture. Are you converting to other software to teach us, or do you actually use different software for different venues, gigs? Right now I use my base DJ software is Traktor, and if you watch back the start of this video I explain why. And from Traktor I converted to 𝗏𝗏𝗏 because basically everybody needs his data in 𝗏𝗏𝗏, because sooner rather than later you may have to convert to or export to a CDJ USB, and for that you need 𝗏𝗏𝗏. I like to experiment a little bit in Serato, I like to experiment a little bit in Virtual DJ, and Algorithm DJ is actually my preferred performance platform for the moment. So yes, it's a little bit of everything, but right now it's both a demonstration as well as having everything there that I need to be there, and for that reason you see me doing this. Let me fire up the DJ conversion utility once again. Now remember, I did the conversion from Traktor to 𝗏𝗏𝗏 with the DJ conversion utility. That created what is called a 𝗏𝗏𝗏 XML. That file is still there. I don't need to export from 𝗏𝗏𝗏. I can still use or repurpose that XML that was created during the conversion from Traktor. I can simply say I want to go from a 𝗏𝗏𝗏 XML to Serato to DJ and to Virtual DJ, and it automatically selects the 𝗏𝗏𝗏 𝗃𝗃𝗀 XML that was created during the conversion from Traktor to 𝗏𝗏𝗏. So basically everything is there, and that 𝗏𝗏𝗏 XML has one playlist. That is the playlist tracks added at or after today, and that's the playlist that we are going to convert, and that contains those 97 tracks. And from here on out everything is once again on automatic, and we just have to wait for that. And again, this can take a little while because everything is very big here. We are processing collections of 120,000 tracks, mind you. And that is also the case in my Algorithm DJ collection. That's 120,000 tracks. So for that reason, things take a little time. Let's see how 𝗏𝗏𝗏 is doing in the meantime. That's also still analyzing. As you can see, it's still counting down there. So just let's wait for this to finish. And in the meantime, if you guys have questions, feel free to ask. I'm here anyway, so you can ask them. After this, I'm going to do the analysis in Serato, which I actually cannot do because my... oh, I can do that. If I switch off the mixer, then I can do that. There is one annoying thing in Serato that you need to be aware of. The moment that there is a controller connected, you cannot... Oh, what's that? That's a 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. You can hide it. The moment there is a controller connected, you cannot do analysis. So if my mixer and DJ900 mixer is connected to my system, the analysis button is not available in Serato, and for that reason I just switched the mixer off. I don't need the mixer anyway. That also caused 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 to pop up because 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 wants to have an audio source, and there is no audio source in 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 right now. So kind of doing a lot of things together, but once this is done, then it should be fairly quickly. By the way, we are also going to get the data from this computer on the Mac Mini to my performance computer. So we will do that in a moment too. Oh, while this is running, I can do that already. We can do that parallel to each other because that is not a very demanding job. Let me sign into... There we are. Alright, here we are on the Mac Mini once again, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to synchronize at least my... Oh, I cannot do that yet. By the way, like I said, I have in 𝗵𝗶𝗶𝗀, I created some scripts that are ready to run there. I cannot do this because it needs to have the conversion to DJ before I can do that. I can synchronize the artwork for, and that's the artwork actually for iTunes from this computer to the Mac Mini, so I can start that job if I like to. But before I do, when you are going to do this trick that I'm showing you right now, make sure that your iTunes collection, your music collection, is not pointing to the collection that you want to use. So usually my iTunes collection is within the music current folder. That is what I'm working on right now on my main computer. Make sure that on the other computer before you sync, the iTunes collection points to another collection. It doesn't matter what collection, you can even create an empty one. I have an empty one here. That is fine. And that way it will not conflict, and then you can start up iTunes using now the Alt key and choose the final collection that you want to use. You will see in a moment how that all works. Let me start the synchronization of this. Yes, that is fine. And there we go. And that actually synchronizes the artwork. Again, I use 𝗵𝗶𝗆 for this job because that is much faster than using the Finder to copy it over, because it's incremental. As you can see, it is looking, oh, the conversion was ready. This is all happening automatically, so there is nothing that I can do about it. I'm not really interested in Virtual DJ, so that should be fine. However, here we are in Algorithm DJ, and there we are interested in my cue points there, and you can see that the cue points are indeed there. And I hear you think, yo, 𝗵𝗲𝗍, but are those the cues that are available in iTunes? And yes, if we load the tracks in iTunes, they will have those cue points just fine. And those cues again are coming from Traktor originally. So I converted the --key cues to Traktor, converted Traktor to a Rekordbox XML, and then converted that Rekordbox XML to Algorithm DJ and much more. Let me see if Rekordbox is ready with its conversion, and you can see that everything now has needs to think a lot about it. As you can see, it's very slow, but everything has been worked out here. So I can quit Rekordbox because Rekordbox is fine now. Algorithm DJ all looks fine, but we are going to have a look there in a moment. If I go to Serato, then we should have, let's find that playlist, because that is always the thing. Where did that playlist go? This is the one. This is the one. And then you can see that there is an analysis button there. But before I do, make sure that you have under the little gear symbol the key and the beat grid off, so they are converted from the audio files. This is the analysis within Serato, as you can see. And then if we take, let's take something which has there, you can see that those cues are converted too, so we are all happy with that. Let's quit it. Oh no, hold on for the total analysis. If I go back to DJ in the meantime, and if I go to that top 40 2025 playlist right here, and we load a random track, you can see that the cues and everything are there. So that is all nicely converted the way I want it to be. That also means that my DJ collection is now complete, and I want to sync everything back to my Mac Mini. And for that, we need the Mac Mini screen. This is also finished, so I can finish Serato here. Let's do that. And then, while Serato is quitting, I can say I want to have the entire music folder from this computer to the Mac Mini. So I'm going to start that little job, run it. And I want the analysis data from Algorithm DJ from this computer to the new one. You can always see that this computer is a network volume as far as the Mac Mini is concerned. You look at the Mac Mini screen right here. So let's wait for this to finish, which will again be fairly quick because it is all incremental. And we just need to wait for this one to finish. And then I will show you what to do to make sure that everything is working fine after this is done. Then the next step will be, and I can already put it in motion, getting everything on my Denon Engine OS drive. And let me connect that drive. There it is, prime drive, that is my Engine OS drive. Let me open it. Plenty of room. I start up what is known as the collection backup tool. And the iTunes Rekordbox collection backup tool is a tool that not only starts the Denon conversion utility, but also copies the tracks from my terabyte, from my network volume, to that drive that I just connected. That is very important because Engine OS does not work off a network volume. But before we are going to do that, no, why not? I can put that in motion already. You can see right here that it again selected that XML file that was created with the conversion from Traktor to Rekordbox. That is still the same XML file. That's the XML file I want to use, and the prime drive will be my target drive. And that's all I need to know. The rest is an automatic from here on out. This has all been done. Now if I start up iTunes on the Mac Mini holding down the Option key, so let's do that. Hold down the Option key, say choose library, and I'm going to switch back to my current library. That is right here. The music library, current, that is what I want to use. And you can see that that was just created. That is the thing that was created a moment ago. So we choose that one. The terabyte is already mounted, so we have to wait for this to load. And this is essentially the iTunes collection from this computer, the computer I'm working on, but then synced to my Mac Mini. So you are looking right now at the Mac Mini screen. That's also the reason why I didn't make it full screen, because I want you to see what's happening here. And if I move it away, then you can see that the Denon conversion utility is busy there.
The Denon conversion utility needs your attention.
I'm going to put the Denon conversion utility at work to do the mandatory mid-procedure analysis. There it is. And you can see that he analyzed these tracks first. Let me make this a little bit bigger. You can see that there are 97 tracks in that. Those are still the 97 tracks coming from the XML. Analyze those tracks. Those are analyzing. In the meantime, my Mac Mini has loaded the iTunes collection, so I will have a look with you guys there in a moment. Just making sure that, because the analysis in Engine DJ is rather quick. And then the Denon conversion utility can finish up. Again, this is the Mac Mini you are looking at, and come on, I don't need that. I will do that in a moment. Go away. Let me finish this one first. Right here. I want to make it a little bit wider. No. All right, then we do it like this. You can see that the Top 40 2025 playlist is indeed there, so I can click it. Hold on. So I can click it and the view must be set to songs, but everything is there automatically coming from this computer. The same if I start up DJ on the Mac Mini, and that is of course the main reason why I'm using that Mac Mini, because I like to use DJ on it. Let me make it a little bit smaller so I can start it up. There we go. I'll wait for it to load. While that is loading, this is the iTunes on my main computer. I need to export my library once again. Why do I need to export it again? I did update those comment fields, and those comment fields were not in the last export that I did. So I'm going to export right again and replacing that library folder. Then I can quit this. Now if you look right here, this is again on the Mac Mini, DJ on the Mac Mini. There I've got the top 40 2025, and if I load tracks up there, you can see that they got indeed the queues. Tracks will load on a totally different system. Reason why they will load, because everything was synced back, the whole DJ library and everything with it was synced back from this computer to that Mac Mini. So that Mac Mini is updated now, is totally up to date and ready to be used, essentially. Now there is one thing that needs to be done, because that prime drive does not have the entire iTunes playlists, and once again you need to do that using the iTunes Rekordbox collection backup tool. However, I am afraid this will take a while, and I'm not going to wait the stream for that. I'm going to see what will happen, but I'm pretty sure this will take a while, because this week I did change a lot of stuff in my music collection, and the iTunes Rekordbox collection tool is a backup tool. So if audio files were changed, then it will copy them. And right now I'm going to feed it my entire library XML. So that is my entire iTunes collection. You can see that the icon there changed to iTunes as well the moment I did put it in. But I think there is a lot of audio files that will be copied over from the terabyte to the prime drive. And for that reason, I don't think we are going to wait this out. I'm going to start it. But again, I am not sure how long or how fast this will be. The begin is always fast. You never know where the real stuff is that was changed. So this can get a little bit slow. And for that reason, I think we are going to close out the stream in a moment, and I'll let this run in my own time. After this has been done, I'm going to make a backup of my internal drive. And again, I use 𝗵𝗶𝗆 for that. There is an internal drive right here and an external drive. And after that, I will make a backup of the terabyte to one of my backups. I use a total of 3 backups. Those backups are, let me get them so you can see them. And of course, one is not having what it should have, which is a rubber band around it. But these are Samsung T7 drives, 4 terabyte. These drives are partitioned. So if I connect this drive, I actually see 2 drives. One is the backup of the terabyte. The other one will be the backup of the internal drive. Like I said, this is my main computer, which means everything that is on this internal drive needs to be backed up to an external drive as well. And after that, I am totally good to go. I've got 3 of these. These are numbered, and I rotate them. So week 1 I use drive 1, week 2 I use drive 2, week 3 I use drive 3, and then week 4 I use drive 1 again. Reason for that is the rotation, because if you just have one backup, then you cannot go back in time. I now can go back in time like 2 weeks, because I have an old backup from 2 weeks ago, as well as a current backup. So for that reason, I like to rotate my drives. Okay, my friends, I know this was long. I know that at certain parts it also was boring. I don't apologize for it, because it is what it is, and collection management, audio track collection management, can be rather boring, but I still hope that you guys enjoyed the video. And if you got questions about it, you can always ask them in the comments below the video. Next week there will not be a live stream, but I will be back the week after that. If you like what I'm doing, then don't forget to give the videos the thumbs up, like, share, subscribe. But most importantly, tell your DJ friends about the availability of this information online totally for free. Also, if you've got questions, comments, and I will be happy to answer them the next live stream. For now, thank you all for hanging out with me. Thank you all for watching. And I really hope that this can help a lot of people. And yes, indeed, perfect picture. It is a lot of information, but I'm glad that you appreciate it, my friend. And I hope to see you guys all back. Now I have to wait before I press the end stream, because if I press it right now, then it will be gone. So I have to wait 20 seconds because there's a delay between what I'm telling you and when it comes off. 𝗃𝗏𝗻 Sanchez, thanks again, 𝗵𝗲𝗍. It's been an interesting day. See you next Tuesday. Not next Tuesday, 𝗃𝗏𝗻. It will be the Tuesday after it. And thank you, perfect picture. That is appreciated. Bye, you guys. See you all later. 𝗵𝗲𝗍 signing off.